Welcome back to my lecture series. This is Muthuminal R, Assistant Professor from the Department of Agricultural Engineering at SNS College of Technology. Today we'll see the topic on Hazard and Vulnerability Profile of India that comes under the unit Disaster Risk Management in India for the students of final year semester at the subject Disaster Management. Before going into the session, let us have a small recap what we have seen at the previous lecture series. We have seen what is disaster, what are the types of disaster, and how we can tackle these kinds of disaster whenever it has happened to us. We have seen also about the disaster risk reduction methods and how the risk reduction management will help us to avoid the hazards that will happen at the near future. So to be precise, today we'll see about the hazard and vulnerability profile of India. So as you guys can see here, I have shown you an Indian map where how far the disaster happens. So it is nothing but this image shows us how we can understand the complex risk that shapes the India's disaster landscape through the comprehensive number of hazards that has happened at the previous decades. That is, for example, for the past 60 years, we have been monitoring what are the kinds of disasters that happened at the previous years, and we have monitored them and splitted up several disasters into several groups so that we can map the hazard and vulnerability profile according to it. So this is how we have mapped here. So it will show us the interactive visuals such as true scale of India's disaster challenges. So this will help us to explore the nation's exposure to natural disaster and the socio-economic factors that amplify their impact. So here, as you guys can see, according to India's hazard landscape, a nation at risk, we are vulnerable to earthquakes of about 59%, and also we are vulnerable to cyclone exposed towards the coastal areas, that is of about 76%. So the number of people that have been affected due to these kinds of 50% disasters are 200 million people are affected, and this has happened due to several percentage of disasters, not only restricted to earthquake, cyclone, and also the flood prone areas. So this is the image that shows you the interactive mapping system that allows the real-time monitoring of hazard zones across the profile. So now we will see about the earthquakes vulnerability, because the 50 percentage of the population has been affected by the earthquake as shown here. So the high risk seismic zones comes under 11 percentage of India falls under zone 4 and zone 5. The Himalayan region states maximum due to ongoing tectonic collision, yeah, that is the tectonic plates that are available under the collision of Indian and Eurasian plates. The urban cities like Delhi, Mumbai, and Kolkata faces severe risk due to dense population, aging infrastructure, and also the inadequate enforcement of building safety codes. So the historical impact that helps us in identifying the vulnerability of earthquake will be 2001 Bhuj earthquake. The magnitude of that earthquake is 7.7, which has killed 20,000 people, while it claimed 10,000 lives, highlighting the seismic devastation potentiality. So the modern seismic monitoring networks, which will help us to provide the interactive hazard maps with clickable hotspots, revealing the past earthquake impacts and current risk assessments for the vulnerable regions. So here, as far as possible, we are covering the three major disasters that gives us a majority of hazards and vulnerability. As we have already covered earthquake, now we'll see the cyclone and flood. Because under the coastal regions, we are most probably affected through cyclones. 70 percentage of the India's population has been affected through them. So the Bay of Bengal cyclone corridor usually generates 80 percentage of cyclones with eastern coastline, which will burn of these powerful storms. 250 million people live within the 50 of the coastline, and many in low-lying and prone areas. So this will make the people living in the surrounding areas to be affected very badly. And also the river flood plains like Indo-Gangetic Brahmaputra plains cover 12 percentage of the flood-prone land, experiencing recurrent river erosion and devastating monsoon floods that displace the millions annually. So vulnerability amplifying the disasters could be under four types. The first one is physical vulnerability. It is caused due to the pure infrastructure quality and unplanned dense settlements. Social vulnerability is the one that is caused due to the disrupted communication networks and inadequate emergency services, which will worsen the disaster response effectiveness. Isolated rural and communities often lack access to timely warnings and evacuation support system. And the third one is economic vulnerability, which is caused widespreadly due to poverty, which will leave the limit communities' abilities to construct resilient housing and infrastructure. Urban poor resides in hazard-prone areas due to limited housing alternatives and economic constraints. The last one is economic vulnerability. This is caused due to the extensive deforestation and wetland degradation significantly in increase due to landslide and floodlings. So the last which I am going to show you is building resilience, because we have to be very prominent in avoiding these kinds of hazards to happen in the near future. So what we have to do in the sense, we have to enhance the hazard mapping, we have to enhance the community preparedness, we have to enhance the infrastructure resilience, and also the climate integrations. So this is what I have prepared for today's class. See you at the next class. If you guys have any kind of doubt or anything, you guys can ping me anytime. Thank you.